Okay, so we're starting into topic 2, and just wanted to point out to you guys again that the very first part of this unit on the BEDMA, the order of operations, and integers, we've kind of covered all that with topic 1 at the start of it, so if you need a recap, go back and look at some of that stuff. But starting into the second unit on multiples, factors, and primes, we're going to take a look at multiples first. And I like to think of multiples as like counting numbers, or counting in 2s or 5s or things like that. So that might make sense when we actually list out the multiples. So let's list out the multiples of 2, and that's basically says that a multiple is the result of multiplying a number by any integer, but not a fraction. So what does that mean? That means we can do 2 times 1 gives us 2, and then times 2 again gives us 4, and 2 times 3 gives us 6, and 2 times 4 gives us 8, and 2 times 5 gives us 10, and we can start writing out all these numbers that are multiples of 2. Like 20 is 2 times 10, and 22 is 2 times 11, and 24 is 2 times 12. So all of those are 2 times something. And the way they work out if you list them all is that it kind of sounds like you're counting in 2s, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, etc. So multiples of 3, carrying that same idea, would be 3 times something. And if you start with the most basic one, just 3 times 1, that gives you 3. And counting in 3s, or multiplying by 3s, you go up. 3 times 2 would give you 6. 3 times 3 would give you 9. 3 times 4 gives you 12. And then you get into the pattern, and you can just start putting them in, going up by 3s every time. So for instance, 27 is 3 times 9, and 18 is 3 times 6. So when they say list the multiples of a number, really that's what you're doing. And you could go on to infinity. I could list some really big, silly numbers, but they're just listing usually the first few of them. And so that gives us the basic idea of multiples. Now how these come into actual use for us is when we look to try to find the lowest common multiple between two numbers. So in this case, the lowest common multiple is literally what's the smallest multiple that two numbers share in common. So if I ask you to find the lowest common multiple of 4 and 5, I want you to think about listing out the first few multiples of each number, and then look to see what's the lowest one they both have. So if we start with 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, and 40. Probably don't need that many, but just to list them out. So that's timesing a number by 4 each time, or if you want to, just thinking about going up by 4 every single time. And if we think about 5s, 5 times 1 is 5, 5 times 2 is 10, times 3 is 15, times 4 is 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. So now that you've got the multiples listed out, you really just need to look through the list and see what is the lowest one they both have. So starting at the bottom and moving up, you'll notice that 4 has a 20 and 5 also has a 20. And that's kind of convenient because that's 4 times 5 to get us 20, so they actually are factors of it. They both share that there. But another common multiple that they have would be 40. It's not the lowest, but it's still a common multiple that they have. So again, just list out your numbers and look for the lowest common multiple that they both have.